The following is rated not safe for work. It contains strong language, adult situations, and lots of spoilers. Discretion is advised.
In the criminal justice system, cinematic-based offenses are considered especially heinous. The dedicated attorneys who investigate these villainous films are members of an elite squad known as the Reels of Justice. These are their stories.
Order, please, order. The Reels of Justice is now in session. Judge, the man of the house, Ryan Luis Rodriguez presiding. Your eyes for the Honorable Judge Rodriguez.
It was actually nice for once. I'm kind of surprised.
Aw, we love him.
Be seated. Welcome to the Reels of Justice. Today we are hearing the case of the People versus Get Off My Lawn, a 2025 thriller about a couple that finds out their dream home is a nightmare as they are terrorized by their teenage neighbor. For those of you unfamiliar with our court proceedings, we are here to determine if this film is guilty of being a bad movie. As always in this courtroom, films are to be considered excellent until proven awful, and the burden of proof lies upon the prosecution to prove beyond a shadow of a reasonable doubt that this film is guilty. Mr. Dylan J. Schlender, you are representing the prosecution. You may present your opening statement.
Thank you, Your Honor. Who will inherit the earth after the boomers? Will it be Gen X? No, they don't care enough, and frankly, they're already living off of boomer largesse. Will it be the millennials? They followed the rules they put in their time. They had that unfortunate lost decade. Now is their time, isn't it? Or is it going to be Gen Z? They never had to worry about the Great Recession. They got to live through the prosperity of 2011 through now. They get to make their own rules. That's what I thought Get Off My Lawn was going to be about. Finally exploring this interesting generational conflict that is being foisted upon millennials and Gen Z. It's the Three Stooges syndrome. Everyone's trying to get through the same door at the same time. Alas, no. That is not what is happening here today, ladies and gentlemen. Not with Get Off My Lawn. No, it turns out that they eschewed any interesting social commentary in favor of what I can only describe as an utterly bizarre, barely self-aware thriller slasher. I don't know quite what to make of this. As we go further into my argumentation, I'm able to provide more concrete examples. You will see how this movie falls apart under even the lightest bit of scrutiny. And I am aware, when you turn this movie on, it says right there in big letters, almost as big as the title, to be original. So there is some leeway. We have to understand what we're getting into. And I, for one, love giving Tubi a long leash, but I'm afraid it got tangled up in the bushes, and I can't get it out. This one's going to be found guilty. Thank you.
An insanity plea.
It might work.
Appearing on behalf of the defense is the Tubi Tuesday gang. Please present your opening statement.
Ladies and gentlemen of the court, we as a society love Tubi. I mean, what's not to love about Tubi? It's basically like going into a video store every time you tap on the app and scroll through their massive lists of films that they have on there. But when it comes to Tubi originals themselves, society has decided that these are lower grade films, no different than anything that is made by the Hallmark Channel. But we are here today to prove that not only do Tubi original films actually work as cinema, but this one in particular, Get Off My Lawn, is a perfect example of how good a Tubi original film can be. Yes, this film is all over the place in a lot of ways, but that is the absolute charm of this film in terms of it not only being a thriller, but it's also a film that is full of camp, self-aware humor, and utter insanity that makes it stand out compared to other Tubi original films that are out there. This movie is so insane that not even Hallmark itself could touch this film. And I will pass on to my pass it on to my partner, Mr. Kollin.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury and people of the court, we come here today and we're going to argue how Get Off My Lawn is a bad movie. This movie is not bad, by all means. And I'll tell you why. Like my co-counsel said, it is a Tubi original. Tubi original movies are baller. Okay? They are baller. They are the lifetime movies of our generation. Now, Get Off My Lawn is everything you want in a movie. It has comedy. It has suspense. It's spooky. It's insane. It's got awesome biracial couples that live in this house. Perfect for Gen Z. It has a whole lot of horror. And, dare I might say, kind of like a little bit like Obsession, the new movie that just came out.
Oh.
Fuck, where was I going? Sorry.
Let's all go watch Obsession. It's great.
Dude, that movie is fire, by the way. You'll never argue that movie because that movie.
Oh, you just win, friend.
Sure. Dude, I'll come on that.
You know what
sure.
we do here.
But as we were saying, Tubi originals are just the greatest of Tubi. I've watched a lot of trash on Tubi. A lot. Bede has put me through a lot. Now, my favorite movies on Tubi are the Tubi originals. And most of them are like your basic Lifetime movies, which are by far my favorite type of movies. Lastly, I'll leave you with this. The movie stars smart guy. Okay? The smartest guy in the world. We've all seen Sister Sister, the little brother. Smarter than those two chicks. I'll just leave you with that. So, yeah, that's my opening statement. Thank you.
And a hell of an opening statement it was. Thank you, Tubi Ubies. Mr. Schlender, you may proceed with your first exhibit.
Look, I got to clear the air here because everyone listening at home is saying, but Dylan, you love Tubi. And it's true. I love Tubi. The reason the Tubi Ubies are even on the podcast is because I Googled Tubi podcasts and they came up and we became friends. So, trust me, I'm all in on Tubi. I get it. I think what we need to look at, though, for a Tubi original such as this is the fact that it's bad is what's making it entertaining. And really my case against this movie is going to be reminiscent of a Ben's Nitpick Corner, only writ large. I mean, because let's just start at the beginning of the movie with the real estate agent getting killed by the mysterious killer. Okay, we find out that the killer is actually indeed Alec, the main character played by Jonah Huang. And it's...
Objection.
Yes?
Objection. Don't spoil that movie.
No. We want here.
There's tons of spoilers. We spoil everything. Bruce Willis was dead the whole time. So, the agent...
last season.
First of all, meets him and brings him into the house, even though he's clearly a 17-year-old boy. He's like, this guy's not going to be buying a house. Never mind the fact that his picture is hanging up on the wall for a house that she has presumably given tours for, and given Alec's obsession with the house, there's no way he never met this real estate agent, especially with the heavy hand he had in picking who would actually get the house. So you may think, oh, this could be interesting. Alec's not the killer. But unfortunately, and this is going to be a theme in my case, at every opportunity this movie has to do something interesting, it chooses not to do the interesting thing. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say how the movie should have been written, should have been directed. That's a different case. However, we do have to look at what the movie is providing us what we can speculate on as we're watching it the first time. And as we do that, we do begin to realize like they made some poor decisions. Making Alec the killer at the beginning and then the only killer at the end, it just didn't end up being interesting. I was thinking, ooh, wouldn't it be interesting if his mom killed the real estate agent or the dad's crazy? But no, we have all of these dangling threads in this movie. Let's go over a couple just again. And a lot of this is just even looking at Alec. We can get into the shortcomings of everyone else. But Alec, he alleges that he's abused by his father, but his father seems terrified of him now. Makes no sense. But then the father seemingly will abuse him, taking off the belt. So what is this relationship exactly? And then when he says, you know why we had to sell the house. No, we don't. Why? Why did you have to sell the house? What exactly is going on in that family? I feel we don't get sufficient enough explanations to understand Alec's damage, his emotional state. And the fact is, I don't think the movie is particularly interested in it, so I don't know why we have to think about it so hard to fill in the blanks for them. You know, it's like, oh, no, he's just crazy. You know, it's like, well, that's not interesting. Anyone could have been the killer if that's the case. So him perpetuating these crimes, which get increasingly more and more outlandish, and then you said the smartest guy in the world wants to buy a gun in what can only be presumably maybe somewhere in New York or California, because they reference having given up a rent-controlled apartment, you know, so it certainly ain't Utah. My point is, he wouldn't get a gun faster than he could literally go on Amazon and buy a Blink camera for, as of this recording, $49.99 with free shipping.
Ooh, that's steep.
Free same-day shipping. If he was living...
If I put it off, can I get a credit?
You know, you probably could. And then saying it'd take days to install. I have personally installed a Blink security system in my house. It took maybe 30 minutes, right? The hardest part was trying to remember my Wi-Fi.
But you're an Adonis.
This is true. But my point is, the characters are constantly making stupid decisions after they bring up the fact they should be making smart decisions. So these decisions are on the table for them, but they keep making the worst decisions. And that includes Alec, that includes Jason and Jackie, everyone all the way down is just making terrible decisions that strain credibility. And now the first time you're watching this movie, you think it's to the purpose of setting up something grander. Like, okay, this might actually be going somewhere. This could be interesting. But it doesn't. As I said, it just decides on the least interesting thing and does that. Alec is just straight up a crazy killer. Boring. Jackie and Jason, it turns out, are just that stupid. Boring. The parents are just locked in a closet and forgotten about. We get nothing from them. Boring, boring, boring. It's just bad.
Tubi Ubies, is it just bad and boring, oring?
Well, I will, to answer the questions by the prosecution, the things that they have brought up in terms of this film is there's a difference between something being bad and something being deliberately campy. Now, with this film, it's very obvious from the start of this film, from the very end. This is a film that knows exactly what it is. This is a movie that is very heightened in terms of its tone, in terms of its insanity. I mean, if this was a regular Lifetime Hallmark movie, it wouldn't be as insane as this. You could almost feel that there is a slight wink to the audience from everyone involved when it comes to this film, and also the many plot details that the prosecution has brought up. It doesn't really matter, because a lot of this stuff is pretty easy to figure out based on the information that is on screen, in terms of why Alec is the way he is, his relationship with his family, because it's very obvious when watching the film that he had a close relationship with his grandfather, and this house was a shelter for him from the horrors that he would face at home every day. So we didn't need any of that stuff to be spelt out for us, because the information itself is right there. And also,
well, let me push back on that real quick, if I may, Mr. Barrister, with your lovely white wig. Mine's in the shop, unfortunately. I'm not buying that Alec was fleeing abuse. His father seems to be scared of him. His mother is painfully obsequious to him. I mean, we could talk about Asian women stereotypes in a little bit, I suppose, but let's table that for now. But the fact of the matter is, it seems like Alec has had a firm hold on this family dynamic. It's hard to justify what he's saying versus what we're seeing. So I just don't buy it. I think Alec, maybe his dad maybe hit him once or twice, but there's something deeper there that we're not seeing.
Objection. You don't know how many times he's beat his kid.
I'm saying you can infer from the way they're acting, it's probably not as much as he should have.
Ooh. I got 2 kids and I really want to beat them all the time. So I'll agree with
you. You are under
this
oath.
will be presented in real court eventually if they get hold of this audio comment. Oh, God.
But he doesn't.
Well, that's the thing. Can we really trust a crazy person when it comes to the character of Alec? Because
your argument earlier was yes. That's what I was saying. No.
Hold on. Who says he's crazy? I mean, he is crazy, but why is he crazy? There's so many reasons why he's that way. There's so many reasons why he's that way.
And my argument is that those reasons aren't adequately explored, and we're giving, I would dare say, conflicting reasons and not a satisfactory resolution, because the character of Alec, the actor who's playing him, Jonah Huang, I'll say right now, he did a perfectly decent job for what the character was. However, by not understanding his motivations properly, by just turning him into like this, at the end of the movie, this crazed killer. I mean, he loses an eye, he gets stabbed, he gets impaled. I guess he's always been murdering people because he murders the real estate agent at the beginning, which again doesn't make sense. How did he drag her body across the street, get her in the house? I mean, have you noticed in this
wore a mask?
Bucolic,
it was COVID times.
It was COVID. He wore a mask. Okay. Yeah, in this bucolic neighborhood where there's seemingly only one neighbor, where the hell is everyone? You do realize the last part of this movie is them screaming their heads off in their backyard, and no one's hearing it. No one's doing anything. I mean, like, where are the other neighbors? That's the problem.
Football was on.
There was another neighbor that came in. It was the lady with the dog.
And it was just the one neighbor, but they live on a presumably nice street. That's why they wanted to live there, But there's no other neighbors. There's no other presence in this movie, and that really undercuts it.
Well, with a budget like they had, you can't have that many characters. Okay.
Well, maybe then you have to relocate where the house is going to be, because look, we have to suspend so much disbelief for so many of these things in this movie to work. And if you keep adding on and on, you get to the point where it's the straw that breaks the camel's back, where the viewer says, okay, movie makers, you don't care. You're expecting me to care more to make your movie work for you. I'm getting off on this. Stop. Not for me.
This ad break.
Oh, God, the ad breaks. I actually wish I had my ad blocker turned off so I could have enjoyed the commercials. It might have made the movie a little more bearable.
The amazing thing is that it was made by Tubi, and even before it cuts to black, they play the commercial. So they screw it up even for movies that they made.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Whose side are you on?
Yeah.
Hey, we're allowed to have biased judges. There's 2 lawyers. The judge can help me out a little.
Let's get this judge out of here.
He can help me a smidge. There's 2 lawyers.
I call for a fucking mistrial. That judge is biased as fuck.
Well, luckily the judge doesn't actually get to vote. He only.
You haven't seen his letterbox review.
It's only one word. I'll just say that.
I can guess. I've got several one-word descriptions that work for this movie.
Well, I think in terms, Your Honor, and ladies and gentlemen of the court, I feel like with this film, though, there is a bit of social commentary in this film. You talked about how our main characters, Jason and Jackie, are a bit idiotic, that they're not doing anything to basically get rid of Alec. But there are multiple times throughout this entire film where they call the police, and the police don't do anything. And all they do is drink their, like, Starbucks, mocha, matcha, whatever the fuck it is that he's always drinking in every single scene. But also, let's just face it, there is a underlying of racial subtext in this film, because
Great point,
I would
Pete.
imagine,
I was just about to bring that up.
because while there are definitely people of color in this film, and Alec's friends are a strong case of that, and also his mother, but unfortunately, though, in this case, though, everyone is oblivious to the actions of Alec and what he is doing to this poor couple. And also you have figures of authority that who are doing nothing to help this couple, even though all the information and evidence is there to help them out. So it's very easy to see that both Jason and Jackie have to defend their home. Obviously, they could have just got a security system, but even then, though, it's very clear that even if they did show the footage to this police officer, he's not going to do anything about it. I'm actually surprised he actually did anything even after when Alec was impaled on that mailbox. But you can definitely see there is a bit of satirical elements in this film. But also, it is such an outrageous premise that just gets more and more insane as it goes on. And in a way, you could say that this film is kind of making fun of the psycho person subgenre by making this character of Alec even more crazier, even more insane, and his actions are just as over the top. I mean, there's the buddy boiler, but then there's all of this insane shit that Alec does. And he somehow gets away with it because he is a preppy guy wearing a pink shirt all the time and cargo shorts.
Well, I want to talk about that a bit because maybe there's something there, but there won't be, and I'll explain why. So when we look at Alec's friends, right, his girlfriend Ray and his best friend forever, Ethan, they're playing it remarkably straight. And if they've known Alec this long, it seems like they would have stepped in sooner because the pranks are out of hand. Well, pranks, quote unquote, are out of hand very quickly. And this idea that they're going to film them and go viral and somehow make enough money to buy a house. I mean, it's again, it's all pretty ridiculous. But these, like, Ethan and Ray are not crazy. We keep saying crazy, but just as a term of art here. So they're not crazy like Alec is, but they're along for the ride. And when you were saying earlier about how this movie winks and nods, they're not winking and nod. They're played remarkably straight. They're legitimately terrified of Alec at the end, but it does it raises the question, like, why not sooner? I mean, you were literally breaking into a couple's house and threatening them with a baseball bat. Like, this is all very unhinged. This is all very dangerous stuff. And also going back to the cop, all they had to do was rewind the video. For the love of God, he had the video, and then it transitions to the video of them making love, as it were, I suppose. And all they had to do was rewind it. Why didn't he rewind it? Show the cop.
Because then the movie would be over.
They're just making the worst decisions. And yeah, you could say it was a bad cop, but at the end of the day, if you had a blink camera and you were showing someone going into your house, I mean, come on, that's irrefutable. That's irrefutable evidence, you know? So, like, yeah, you can say, like, they made the cop just overly stupid, but frankly, they made everyone in this movie so stupid, the cop doesn't even really land as comedy at that point.
To make the argument with that, unless my partner in crime, Kollin, has something to say.
Well, the thing is with the kids, those kids are fucking dumb, stupid teenagers that are going to do dumb, stupid teenager shit. They're going to fucking put dead rats and fucking not tell. Well, who are they going to tell? There's nobody there. They're not going to go to the cops. The cops don't give a fuck. What are they going to do? They can't tell anybody. So what the fuck? There's no way that they are going to even try to stop.
They could have tried to stop Alec. And at the end of the movie, we do indeed see Ethan try to stop Alec.
How?
by not
Like, how would
not
they
going
be able
along
to-
with it, by talking to him
They're fucking
forthrightly
stupid kids. They're
Everyone in this
stupid
movie's
kids.
so stupid, though. That's part
Okay.
of the problem. There's nothing to bounce it off of. It's a black hole of stupidity. That's what this movie is.
But that's the great part of this movie. That's what makes it the campiest part of the movie. That everybody's so fucking dumb that they could easily stop Alec. They could easily do that. But they don't, because of the campiness and the I can't find the word. The fucking,
I would say contrivances, but
I mean, I'm not that smart, okay?
Well, you wouldn't want to anyway.
Right. But they could have stopped him, and they don't. That's the whole point of the movie. The whole point of the movie is like, oh, we're going to go to the cop. The cop's not going to do anything because, one, obviously that cop's racist. 100%. Not doing anything to help, a minority stop a, white person. Okay. And I'm white.
First of all, Jonah Huang is half Asian, so if you
Well,
want to say there's a racial,
okay.
we want to say there's a racial, and it's got to cut both ways. I mean, that's maybe one of the things that's
But
interesting about this movie is actually the only really white guy is the cop and the dad. And what does that say? I don't know. They don't do anything. There's
right,
no
the
white
cop's
savior in this
stupid.
movie. I mean,
Object-
is that what you're saying?
Objection, as it is stated in the facts that Jonah Wan is indeed half Asian, but he is definitely more white Caucasian presenting than
Thank you.
anything
And
else.
the cop's stupid, so of course he's going to think he's just white.
I'm not going to touch that one, boys. I'm not touching
Point for the
Caucasian
Tubi
presenting.
Where's our judge?
I mean, Jesus, would you say this about Urkel? Come on, Jesus, man, come on.
Well,
Who
I would
gets
also
to make these rules? It's like he's half Asian when it helps, but he's presenting white when it hurts. I mean, I don't buy it.
I mean,
Gary's not
okay,
gonna buy it.
look at Tiger Woods.
Yeah, look at. Does anyone say Tiger Woods the greatest Asian white golfer? No, they say he's
No.
What
He's
are we
the
doing
greatest
here? Your Honor,
African-American-
please.
He's the
Yes,
greatest
please, let's get this on track.
African American
Let's talk
golfer.
about the movie and not Tiger Woods, please.
yeah.
Thank you.
Well,
He has enough
He's an
problems.
awful driver. Okay.
Well, with that
Well-
much to drink, anyone would be.
well, I admire the
He was on
passion of
Percocet.
yes.
Objection.
I
on Percocet.
while I can definitely see with my partner in crime, Kollin, he's very passionate about this, but I in a way do agree because we have the character. Because this is the thing about what this film is being satirical of. Not only is it being a satire on mostly sort of waspy neighborhoods, even though there's more people of color in this neighborhood than there would be in real life, but also we have these two young characters who are Alec's friends who are part of the generation that the world kind of sees as just going along with everything. No, they don't care what they're doing, and it's very easy to see that they are people who are so enamored with the character of Alec, and they're pretty much under his thumb throughout all of it, even though they do have their concerns about what they're doing. But it isn't until the very final act of this film where they kind of see the true diabolical nature of this film. So anyways, this film you could see as one that could be seen as young people giving into peer pressure, especially with the character of Alec, who is such a strong personality in terms of being in charge of the situation, but also too, I might add, how they see what is going on in this film is more purely innocent, just playing practical jokes and all that. But even then, though, they still go along with the more insane kind of plans that Alec has, which I would say, again, could also be part of the film's satirical edge. And also, just showing just how, as Kollin, as you put it, just how dumb teenage characters can be when they try to follow the crowd.
Well, I think we can let the jury decide that. I suppose my last point would be about this movie. If we are looking at what were the objectives here? I mean, we're throwing around words like satire, camp, thriller, scary, comedy. I mean, it doesn't particularly land strongly on any of those. And I guess you could make an argument it doesn't necessarily have to, but the satirical elements are completely undercut by the ultraviolence that we see at the end. It would have been more palatable if it was pranks getting out of hand and then realizing that they were getting out of hand. So you could keep that escalation, but you have to remember the whole movie starts with a murder, so it really does kind of undercut that element. It also undercuts a lot of the comedy as well. So if it's just about being, then in that case, like a gory thriller, well, the gore doesn't really come until the end, and it looks pretty terrible. I mean, when he's stabbing the neighbor, I mean, that's it's not particularly good effects. And there's something to be said about practical effects, don't get me wrong. I understand it's low budget, but you've been doing the movie without that level of gore, without that level of ultra violence. To pivot to that, I feel undercuts what was probably the strength of the movie to that point, which was some of this commentary. I think you could dig around and maybe try to find it in there, but the decisions the movie ends up making shows us that the filmmakers weren't interested in those questions and don't even try to address them in favor of a splatter ending. And I will rest my case there, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Schlender is rested. Tubi Ubies, you may proceed with any further argumentation that you have.
I will say, if we're getting close to our closing statements, I'll say my statement, and my cohort, Mr. Kollin, will say his. I will say with this film, my question for everyone is, what makes a campy film? A campy film, for me, is something that is, you could tell that the filmmakers know exactly what it is in terms of its tone. And sometimes the tone can be a little all over the place. Now, it is very jarring when it gets to the third act and it starts to go in a more sort of very dark and violent direction. But for me personally, that is what kind of makes this film overall, because it has that sudden shifts of tone that even some of the great campy films are not afraid in going. You have films like Mommy Dearest, which is a film that can be very dramatic, but then it goes into these very off-kilter, bizarre, dark moments that, yes, it feels so jarring compared to everything else in the film, but that is what makes the film stand out and what makes it memorable to the eyes of the viewers that are watching it. So yes, this is a film that isn't afraid to make the big swings and to make the big judgments in terms of making a film that is not afraid to. I mean, it could have easily have played it straight as a thriller, but this is a film where obviously the filmmakers behind it knew exactly what film they were making, and they were going for the fences. And that should always be admired when a filmmaker is taking chances on the film rather than making something that is pretty straightforward. And Kollin, do you have anything to add with your statement?
No, I agree really with what Bede was saying, but I mean, we did not mention near the end of the movie, one of the most unexpected parts of the movie is when she got stabbed. I didn't see that coming at all. And that was so very, very, very unexpected of that film. In all its camp and humor and horror and whatever you want to call it, which is fine because it's not necessarily a specific genre. You're not expecting, maybe you are expecting the main characters to get stabbed, but as soon as you're like, oh, wait, she's getting away. Oh, no, she's not. She gets stabbed in the stomach. and I thought she was gonna die. So that's what I wanted to bring up. That's really all I got right now. So that's all I got.
Okay. All sides have rested their cases. The attorneys will now present their closing arguments. Mr. Schlender, you may begin.
Thank you, Your Honor. Look, we've had a lot of fun tonight. And I'm pretty sure I haven't banged the desk a lot. We'll find out. I
Not
suppose.
once.
You just
I was
did.
amazed.
Well, that's good. I was trying here. And I just want to reiterate, I love Tubi. I know what Tubi stands for, and I have certain expectations of Tubi originals. And I think part of those expectations will be that we'll probably get some duds, that we'll get some bad movies that we could be entertained by, movies that would be rife for riffing, if you will, to use the parlance of our preferred audience here. But what we get with Get Off My Lawn, I feel it just lacks a bit of sincerity. I feel like it balks. I feel it had an opportunity to maybe be an interesting satire about the conflict of the generations, and maybe had an interesting opportunity to be a thriller, possibly a whodunit if they wanted to set up the real estate agent murder better, but they eschew all that. As I said in my earlier argumentation, they opt for the least interesting choice possible, just trying to get the movie out, it seems. Bede said it was taking big swings. I don't think it did, actually. I think it had the opportunity to take big swings, but remarkably, it managed to strike out on a bunt. And I will leave you there. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Tubi Ubies, please present your closing argument.
It makes me laugh every time.
Kollin, do you have a closing statement?
I do. Not something that I mean, in closing, I'd really just like to bring out the fact that this movie, there is not an issue with this movie being very campy. It's a campy masterpiece. You can't put your finger on what genre this movie is. Is it a comedy? Is it a satire? Is it a horror movie? Is it a thriller movie? Is it a slasher movie? I mean, it's all of the above. And if you're looking for a movie that has all of the things that make a great movie, I think you should check out Get Off My Lawn. As the prosecution had stated, yeah, it's maybe a little boring if you're used to little quick movies, like little more paying attention, but you're going to pay attention to this movie. You're going to pay attention to this movie for various amounts of reasons. Just the undertone of the movie is spot on. It tells a great story. And that's what really should count with a movie, is that it tells a great story. And I will close with that.
I would
Thank
also
you
say
all.
with...
Oh,
Oh,
sorry.
sorry.
Go ahead.
I was going to say for my part of my closing statement is, this is unlike most films that are on Tubi that are actually boring. This is a film that keeps your attention from beginning to end because of its insanity, because of its campiness, and of its big swings. Now, just because with a film like this, yes, it may not explain everything, but isn't that what we love about campy films, is like that we are still talking about them in terms of any problems they have, and also with something like this that is all over the place. But that's what makes it very memorable and a fun film to discuss. Because this is a film that at the end of the day is not boring. It is a lot of fun. And
Very fun.
And also one that, if anyone who is scrolling through Tubi clicks on this film, they are totally going to have a great time with it. Obviously, of course, it's not going to be a film that works for everyone. But if you go along with it, you'll see that it is kind of the fun, campy masterpiece that kind of just shows that, unlike, again, Hallmark, Lifetime, which are very pedestrian in terms of their film output. This kind of just shows the best qualities of Tubi and kind of sums it up, the whole service as well, by delivering something that is incredibly over the top, very silly, but also a lot of fun. And that is my closing statement.
Okay. Thank you all, members of the jury, Mr. Big Ben Haslar, Mr. Maynard Bangs, and Mr. Follow the Rules, Ryan Luis Rodriguez. You've all heard the facts concerning this case. It is now up to you to determine if this film is guilty of being a bad movie. The bailiff will escort you to the deliberation room to render your verdict.
Right this way? I wonder if Spirit Airlines could have lived if they took the Tubi model and played ads on the screen the entire flight.
Now the bailiff is dating the show. What the hell?
All right, gentlemen. Stay off my lawn. I actually am kind of sympathetic. Get off my lawn. I'm kind of sympathetic to Tubi, and I'm kind of sympathetic to what they tried to do here. I'm not sure if this film is profitable for what their budget was or what they get back in the ad sales, but I do think that there's like a space here where they could do like really big swings that I think they kind of pretend that they're doing here, but I don't know. It's like they don't think it through all the way. But I didn't hate this movie as much as I kind of thought I would, but there's one person in our jury who I know really hated this movie, and I'm curious what scene almost made him turn it off entirely, because nothing invoked that kind of rage in me. Ryan, what were you thinking?
Well, let me read my review, shall I? Okay, from Ryan Luis Rodriguez. On May 22nd, 2026. Infuriating, 1 star. That's my fucking review of this movie.
Just so you know, there's a half a star is possible, so it's not the lowest it could possibly be.
It's not the lowest, but it's pretty damn low. And the one that really almost made me turn it off was when the cop casually tased a black man in the chest, and it's played as a joke. I was so fucking mad at this movie for doing that. Because it wasn't funny, it didn't fit with the tone of the rest of the thing, and it was waved off by kind of like, oh yeah, sorry man, hey, it happens all the time, whatever.
I think there could have been something there. Like that was even discussed in the case where people were like, like the cop is just like, he doesn't care if like racial people are having problems, and that could have been interesting. Like, if they even had a line where like Jonah's saying he looks white. Yeah,
racial, by the way.
I'm sorry.
All people are racial.
Oh, sure. Underrepresented racially in our population. There could have been something there. I did kind of like the cop humor at the end where he's like, oh, he probably murdered that lady at the beginning too. I did kind of like that aspect of his stupidity. I don't know. It's like I would hate to watch this again, because knowing how few risks it takes, I think it would be harder. But when I was going through it the first time, it seemed like there was a lot that it was setting up. I actually really liked Jonah Wong. I thought he was, I don't know that the script was there for him, but I think he's really trying. I think he's really, no, you disagree?
I hate him. Oh, God.
Please elucidate.
It's a terribly one-note performance where he plays it as if he's clearly unhinged from moment one with that Cheshire Cat smile and that kind of that hint of menace behind his eyes. And then it's like later on when people start dying and these pranks get out of control, people are like, wow, he's really crazy. It's like, well, no shit, he's been crazy the whole time.
That's fair. I mean, he probably could have dialed it up, but when he is full crazy, I kind of like what he's doing.
Well. I liked his performance. He reminded me of like Silent Night, Deadly Night 2, like Garbage Day, that line read, but for an entire movie.
This movie kind of reminded me of Better Watch Out in a different way. I guess this is just like got Christmas movie all over it. Maynard, what are you thinking?
So I think one of the best defenses for this movie is that it's a Tubi original, right? We're clearly giving this thing a sliding scale. If this thing came out in theaters, I think we would say no. But the fact that we could watch it for free with ads, maybe a little more ads than I would like, but still with ads, makes it kind of judge it on a scale, judge it on a curve, right? Kind of like a straight to VHS or straight to TV movie. We expect it to have less of a budget. The problem is the budget is not really the problem. I mean, it's not very expensive to put two people on a screen and make them kiss. If that's what the people
Yeah,
want.
right.
I've got no problem with those movies either. There's no money problem here. You know, the money's on the screen. The movie looks fine. The problem, if there is one, is kind of the writing. If it was going for a kind of suspense where the comedy in the beginning, and we called it a thriller, but it is supposed to be a horror comedy, is how it's defined. So it is meant to be a comedy, and you can see that in the first half. That would be fine if we didn't open with a murder, because they open with a murder. You immediately meet this guy who seems unhinged the whole time, like Ryan said. And of course, you're like, oh, well, it's him. So you expect the movie to undermine that at any point, making it anyone else, which would be interesting, but it's not. It just ends up being him. So if they maybe took the murder right out of the beginning, then you'd be like, oh, well, he's harmless. I can see what the cop says about him being harmless. I don't really think the movie was going for a racial edge because, one, they could have made Alex completely white. You know, they could have completely made his mom like a Stepford wife if that was the theme they were going for. I think the cop is just an incompetent buffoon. And I think that's held up by like his sort of leitmotif, the music that always accompanies him. You know, it's like like he's just supposed to be an uncaring idiot, and he doesn't care about their crime even before they say, hey, it's Alex. You know, he didn't care from the beginning. You know, he doesn't care about his job at all. I don't think he cares about this family or the next family that calls. That's what I got from the character. He is just a bad, uncaring.
It was the opportunity was there,
and
who just drinks his iced coffee.
You could have them putting up like a missing poster.
Yeah,
and you can easily cut that opening scene.
I mean, to me, if they had just cut that opening scene, or even keep that opening scene and make Alex not the killer, make him do a lot of pranks, but ultimately someone else is the killer. Alex actually helps the couple, and they have kind of a happy ending. That marries the tones at the end to me. But with them just going from very idiosyncratic comedy, which is when I was enjoying the movie, to just kind of over the top gore at the end, which wasn't interesting because it was exactly what you expected to happen. And not undermining it. That was the weakness. So I did like some of the practical effects. I thought the money was here. They could have made a perfectly straight gory horror if they wanted to.
Really sharp color palette. I liked a lot of
I like how it looks. You know, I'm kind of 50-50, and if something saves it here, it is that it's Tubi. You know, it's like, is this a little better than I'd expect from Tubi? Yeah, I think if I saw this on TV, I don't think I would turn it off. I understand Ryan's point, but I just didn't see that character going that way. You know that this guy was so slapsticky that everything crazy was happening to him. But yeah, it does that. It has conflicting tones, but it means to, for sure. To the defense's point on camp, it's definitely intentional.
Okay, so on intentionality, which way are you locking in?
I'm gonna be the Transylvanian judge and be a little lenient to this one. I thought the performance, especially of Alex, was pretty strong. It's a little one note, yeah, but again, Tubi, it looks good. It's got good color and lighting. I think they could have done some different script choices. I think that I would not say it's good, but do I have to say it's bad? I don't think so. So I'm going to say not guilty.
Master Rodriguez, did anything sway you?
No. I'm sorry. Not a single part of the argument convinced me, especially tossing around the word masterpiece 5 or 6 times. I was kind of like, no.
It ain't that. Yeah, I got you there.
It's not a masterpiece.
Yeah, blame them for trying. That's their client.
And
that's how you negotiate. You say, I want all of this, and like, meet me halfway.
Start at masterpiece.
The definition of camp is failed seriousness. So let's all take that in just in terms of camp.
So I'm that's go one guilty. Person's definition.
I didn't want to be the deciding vote.
Why'd you want to foreman, then?
Damn me for wanting to be the foreman. I didn't think about it. I want to be lenient too. I think like on intentionality, I think it achieved what it wanted to do. And I think that for its audience, I don't think that they would be mad at it. I think that there is opportunity here that they could have done more. They could have taken some bigger risks. They could have given that script another go. It does look great. So clearly, if they have the money to shoot a thing in this way, they have the money to hire a better script writer or just give it one more pass. But just because it missed the opportunity, does it make it bad? I don't know. I think on intentionality, I dislike it, but on intentionality, I think it succeeds. So I will say not guilty. Let's go tell that very handsome judge.
Mr. Foreman, have you reached a verdict?
We have, your handsomeness. In the case of the people versus Get Off My Lawn, we find the defendant, surprisingly, not guilty of being a bad movie.
Boo! We boo every time. Boo!
Yay!
Tell the jury they were wrong!
Wait, who sided with
Which side are you on?
We can do that.
I just
Kollin, we won.
I know.
I swing both ways, baby.
Wait.
I just wanted to quote Ted Bundy. That's all I wanted to do.
No
The
wonder you're wearing
verdict
that
is
hat.
so rendered. Get Off My Lawn shall be allowed to inhabit the bowels of Tubi, where people will almost accidentally watch it because it sounds close enough to get out. Court is adjourned.
I think he's right.
This is your next door neighbor, Vaughn Van Vuken. I know you've got my Amazon packages. I ordered that Blink camera several weeks ago with free shipping and it hasn't arrived yet. I know you've got my packages. Tubi
I need to do a better job.
What did you think about the jury's verdict in there?
Yes, well...
Yeah, that's
we
you.
are
I'm
very-
talking right to you. I'm standing next to it looking at you.
Yes, sorry. Apologies. I will say on behalf of myself and my colleagues at the Tubi Tuesdays podcast, we are very happy with this verdict. It is a good representation of the work that Tubi has done over the years and will continue to do. And hopefully this very spirited court session will show that not only is this film a lot of fun, but hopefully it'll drive more people to check it out and decide for themselves if it is, well, I guess a masterpiece of the type of film it is. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. So yes, we are very happy with this verdict.
I thank you. I'm sure the jury just voted that way so that Tubi wouldn't pull our sponsorship. Dylan J. Schlender, get over here. What'd you think of that jury's verdict? I know you have my packages!
Well, Mr. Van Vuken, I brought you your packages. They're right here. So
thank you
load
very
them.
much. These are 2 weeks old!
You know, they build
But
up.
then
We'll
they
put them in your El
spoil?
Camino
It's a package.
at the end.
They were chocolates.
Yeah, but he needed that camera because someone was breaking into his house and stealing his medication. So
I needed that medication.
That's true. So anyway, Mr. Van Vuken, as everyone knows, I'm the biggest Tubi fan here in the court, and
Physically.
when I was that's what I meant. When I was watching this movie the first time, I was really getting into it. I was like, oh man, this is going to be really interesting. And it really did just pain me that they didn't do any of the interesting stuff that they were setting up. Like, they didn't have to fundamentally change that many things in this movie for this movie to really get over the top. So I'm afraid it's like a Masters of the Universe all over again. The jury got this one wrong. But hey, that's okay. We basically get it wrong every week if you think about it. So I won't lose sleep over this one. I love Tubi. I'll be watching more Tubi originals in the future. And I hope the Tubi Ubies come back so we can do more in court. Thank you.
Thank you. He just teleported away. Did you see that? A portal opened and he stepped away. That's all the time we have from here at the courthouse. Let's go down to the studio for post-trial analysis. Bring me my packages!
Thank you, Mr. Van Vuken.
All right,
Nice
that's a
job,
fun
fellas.
one.
Yeah, no, great job. This was
This
was
was
a
not
good one.
Tubi. This thing would go down.
Yeah, if this were a theater release,
Yeah.
We paid money in any way to see this, it would be screwed. But the fact that I think they got so much done for their money, but
I just wish
Not
they made a
great.
few different decisions. Nothing crazy, but it really
They should've
could
just
have
made my
gotten over
changes.
the top, you know?
I like my changes. But Tubi Ubies, I know you're actually technically called the Tubi Tuesday podcast. But so tell us about yourself when you're not on here defending Tubi originals. What do you usually do?
Well, what we usually do with our show is we go on Tubi once a week, and each
On
of us
Tuesdays.
finds a movie. Yeah, well, technically we just record on different days, but hush. Kayfabe.
The
So,
marks out there know now.
Exactly.
Oh, speaking of which, you don't need to wear the wig anymore.
Yes, but in terms of when the episodes are released, they are released on a Tuesday, so it keeps the theme of the title of the show. But what we essentially do is, since there is, at least at this recording, about 3 of us as hosts, each of us 1 week gets to pick a movie from Tubi. It could be either something that's bad or weird, or something that has a cult following, or just every now and again something actually good. And we do an audio commentary for the film. And well, I think the whole experience, and I think you'll agree with this too, Kollin, is essentially we kind of, with Tubi, kind of, have I said earlier in the episode, feeling like going into a video store and just like looking through all the random shelves to find the weirdest obscure films. I think our sort of show is like all of us getting together and just hanging out with friends and just watching a movie like you would do in real life. You make comments about the film, you make jokes about it, and also just do some really weird shit. Our show can be very weird.
Doesn't sound like us. We're completely silent while we watch movies together. Very polite.
Yes.
Otherwise, Ryan
I'm a
will
statue
walk
of
out.
Socrates.
And Kollin, I think you would agree with that as well.
Oh yeah, 100%. The best part of that show is that we just fuck around when we watch the movie. We're talking shit about the movie the entire time. Like,
So it's like a watch along then.
Yeah, it's like a watch along. And
But
I'll do.
Wouldn't you guys get different ads?
Australia does, but if I stream,
We all get
from
different
my-
ads. They're targeted now, Dylan. They're
Yeah.
smart enough to do that.
Oh, wait,
Sometimes.
you're all watching it together. You're not all watching it.
Yeah.
My mistake. Forget that.
Yeah.
Withdrawn.
Yeah, we all watch it together, and it's quite a
Boy, I
blast.
really need to vote for my U.S. senator. Says
It'll
me.
make more sense once we're on the show, Schlenzo.
Ah.
Yeah.
Watch one of these
Stay
videos
tuned for
with
my
them.
recommendation.
I mean, Collin's
Yeah, but-
absolutely right. So
Yeah.
I didn't disagree with. I believe you, Kollin. As soon as you said it, I was like, I think this guy knows more about how he watches movies with his friends than I know about how he watches movies with his friends.
Yeah, sometimes it comes and goes. I'm usually right, but it's fine. Just ask Pete, I'm usually
Now,
right.
you said as of
Been
this
there,
recording,
friend.
there are a total of 3 hosts. Are you anticipating that number growing or shrinking? Is there
I
something
would
you want
say-
to tell Kollin right now?
Kollin, Kollin, sadly, you're fired from the show. I mean, no.
Dude,
Collin's
it's fine.
staying around
Pay
for
me.
good.
I want that Patreon
On a
money.
guest
Give me
spot
that
on someone
Patreon
else's
money.
show, that would be so weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, yes, at the moment we have got, we were 4 and one of our hosts decided to leave, which we won't go into, at least on the record.
No, that's fine.
But,
But you might go back up to 4 then. You might go back to the Fab 4.
yeah, I would say
Possibly,
at some
yeah.
point, lately we've been having a lot of guests come on the show to do like guest appearances, even like filmmakers as well. We've had filmmakers come on the show to do watch-alongs of their own films. We've had the filmmakers behind Plankenstein, a killer surf movie. It came on the show to do a commentary for that. And also, at least at the time of this recording, one of our next episodes is where we had the director of the found footage horror film Hunting for the Hag on the show
Good
to
film.
do a watch
My
along
mother
with kids
starred
film.
in that.
Oh, Maynard.
No, she's passed
You're
away.
terrible. You're terrible.
I mean, I'm hoping for a 4th. I like bouncing off people. I actually came on the show as a guest, actually as a fan of the show. I guessed on.
You just loved it so much you stuck around.
and then I just stuck around.
They
and
put a
let
cot
me-
in the back for you.
They let me fucking be an offensive American, and
It's easy. Low bar.
I loved it so much, I bought the company.
Or high bar, actually.
Right.
High bar.
That's right.
It's true.
Exactly. But yeah, I think that's also the thing too. It's like the chemistry between all of us and us bouncing off each other. So whenever you listen to an episode of the show, it's that sort of camaraderie between all of us, and it feels like you're among friends whenever you listen to an episode. So I think
wish I knew
like
what that
as
was
our
like.
show, that is exactly, and I think that's what we kind of want to do whenever we do the Tubi Tuesdays podcast, is having that feeling of coming home on a Friday night, getting a bunch of friends together, and just putting on a bad movie to watch. Some less bad than others.
Obviously, right? Because this one we found was not bad, apparently.
Yes.
Right.
So
That's right.
It's always a lot of fun. And I think we, Kollin, and our co-host Marcy, we want to provide that to all of our listeners.
Awesome.
And
excellent.
what a service it is.
Yeah.
God bless you.
Now, we always ask for recommendations from our guests for movies that you think people should see. So what is a movie you think people should see? Kollin, we'll have you go first.
Oh, dude, there's a ton of fucking movies that I could
name
tell you
one.
to go see.
We'll start with the top of the list. And go
Yeah,
through.
top of the list. Like right now, go see Obsession. I saw that a couple weeks ago, and dude, it blew my mind. Like, it was a really, really good fucking movie, to where I bought a One Wish Willow and a t-shirt. So, and I never do that shit.
You did see the movie, right?
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. Trust me, I got a wish in the bag. It's fine. We got an idea. It's gonna be all right.
Don't wish to be grown to be big.
No,
I saw a documentary where it did not work out.
I want my cat to say real words so that I can understand my cat.
No, you
Oh
don't.
no, that can
Food!
This
he masturbates 10 times a day.
all day, dude, and at work, so it's fine.
Every accusation's a confession, Ben. So what? But what about this movie? The Back Onto Obsession. What, in so many words, what about this movie really stuck with you?
Probably I don't know, man, just the way it was written. The acting is really good. I like the director a lot. I like his comedy shorts. I'm a comedian, so I like his YouTube shorts that he put out before. So I was like going into that knowing he did comedy. I've never seen Milk and Cereal, so I've was really interested in
What
going
do you
to
eat for
see
breakfast?
What do I eat for breakfast? Coffee and vaping. That's what I have for breakfast every morning. But yeah, no, it's just an all around good movie. It's very suspenseful. It makes you think too. Like, I like a movie where I can think.
I want to not think. No robots.
Well,
all right. When I feel like thinking,
listen.
I'll see it for sure.
Sometimes I like movies where I don't have to think. Those are fine. Like, if I'm just like, my kids are fucking bugging me all the time, and I'm like,
And I can't hit them, of course.
Yeah, and I can't.
Folks at home.
You can't throw the kid off the balcony. Okay.
Might as well watch Get Off My Lawn for the 9th time.
Yeah, you pop on a pretty shitty Tubi movie, and you just
guilty.
go.
Don't make us go back in there. We can do it.
Yeah. Get off my lawn.
So, Bede, what is your recommendation? What do you think people should see?
Ooh, that's a good question. Like, looking over my letterbox to see what kind of stands out in terms of movies, a movie I would recommend people to watch, I would definitely say, check out the film
By
Little
the
Murders.
title of...
Well, I was going to say... I'm going to sort of slightly promote one of my other podcasts that I co-host, which is Bede and Trev versus the Big Apple. We recently, at least at the time of this episode's release, we just released a new episode on the 1971 film Little Murders, which is this satirical dark
That's
comedy.
a masterpiece.
So that is a film that I've never seen it before, but till prior to doing it for the show. And it is a great little movie. Like, it's definitely what I'm still thinking about long after I've watched it. It is very funny. It's very on point with its satire on New York City, but also it takes a lot of big swings as well, particularly where it goes in the third act, because something dark actually happens that you don't expect. And I would say it's definitely a movie that I would recommend people to check out. It won't be for everyone, given the sort of the vibe of it, because it is very offbeat. But I feel like if you go into it with that in mind, think you'll definitely enjoy it. And it's a very underrated one that Elliot Gould starred in as well. So it's definitely one of his underrated films that he made during that sort of period of the 70s when he was a huge star.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Was he a private detective in that too?
No.
Well, I thought that's what the movie was going to be about when I went into it. But clearly, I did not read the synopsis because I went into it as blind as possible. But let's just say, yeah, it definitely was not the film I expected.
And Ryan liked it too, so.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Have it on my shelf right here.
Yeah, along with 2,000 other ones. Shelves. Schlenzo, what have you got?
I have what is surely going to be the next Tubi Tuesday feature. And it's a movie that clocks in at an hour and 15 minutes, with that last 15 minutes being the credits, mostly of the director explaining why the movie was so bad. And that movie is Smash Squatch. All one word. Smash Squatch. And it's... Look, there are some low budget movies on Tubi, and then there are some like no budget movies on Tubi, and then there is some we stole a high def camera, let's go play in the woods with our friends for a couple days movies on Tubi,
and then there's Smash Squatch.
And, yeah, right. And it's I mean I don't know if I want to say it's fun. It's definitely interesting that movies like this exist, you know. So that's something. Basically what it is, there's a serial killer who lives in the woods who wears a gorilla mask. He's not supposed to be a Sasquatch. It's about the small town perpetuating the urban legend of if you go into the woods, you'll die. I don't know why they want that, but they do. That's the story. And there's a few main characters that they all get picked off one by one. I mean, the acting's atrocious. It's shot terribly. Some original songs in it are actually pretty interesting, believe it or not, but that's about it. So it's a fun one to watch, and it's like my friend Bede here was saying, one of the joys of Tubi when you go in and it's like that video store feel, right? And this is something I would have seen Smash Squatch as a kid. I would have grabbed that and popped it in for Friday night and been like, what the hell am I watching? So that's the recommendation today, Maynard. Smash Squatch.
Smash Squatch.
Looking up this movie now on IMDb, I think, Colin, we may have to do this movie for.
He said it was a future episode.
I told you, and I will show up whether I'm invited or not. I'm going to barge right in.
Well, we will organize.
Soon to be the fourth member of Tubi Tuesdays. Yeah. That's how it works.
Soon to be the real Smash Squatch when he kicks down your door and eats all your popcorn.
See, I wish I could be in movies like this because I am bigger and stronger looking than the guy they got to play the Smash Squatch. So it would have brought some more physicality to the role. And I could pretend to swing a baseball bat just as good as anyone.
But he has to overhead press 220.
No.
Ryan, I don't know, what have you got? What's your recommendation?
My recommendation this week is an odd one. 2025's The Napa Boys. The film purports to be the fourth installment of a franchise about wine-drinking adventure seekers, all of whom embody a dated trope, meaning that there are references to prior quests that we're not privy to, prior quests that don't actually exist. It's absurd, it's coarse, it's frequently hilarious, it's amazing that it even exists. The main thought that I had with it is that it felt like a shaggier version of a David Wayne movie like Wet Hot American Summer, or They Came Together. And wouldn't you know, Wayne has a supporting role. Come for the nonsense, stay for the timely dunking on Megalopolis. You can buy or rent the Napa Boys on Prime or Apple TV, but you should follow my lead and pick up the Blu-ray. Support your local library.
That does sound pretty interesting, I'm not going to lie.
It dunks on Megalopolis?
Support your local library. Did you get it from the library?
We always
you just support them.
It's a bit we have. You can say it too. Go ahead.
Oh,
feels good. It feels good. Say it.
Library.
Hey, how'd you feel?
Don't you like that? Didn't that feel good?
Bro, I love libraries. Okay, like I love them. I love to read. I'm a fucking book.
There was a streaming app. It might still exist. Canopy that you could use with your library card. So Ryan was recommending them for a long time. They just kind of stuck around, saying support your local library because we still do. Big Ben,
do they have libraries in Australia? Big book buildings?
Yes,
never heard of them.
What is this library you speak of?
Wait, living in the future. Schlenzo, they have them, but they use the didgeridoo decimal system.
Oh,
I love that. I'm not even gonna
he can say it. You can't.
Yes,
I sure can.
that is racist towards Australians.
They're just
I'll have you know that
converted
Maynard is
prisons.
Australian presenting.
Good day, mate.
No, don't say it.
You
They're
can't
just
do that,
converted prisons, Bede. You know that. They're just
Well, I mean,
converted
Australia
prisons.
used to be a penal colony, and we are descendant of prisoners, so that makes
Penal.
total sense.
That's why you get along with America so well, because we're badass rebels. You guys are criminals. It's only a couple of degrees of situation. Separation rather.
Exactly.
Man, we had so much fun. I don't even think we have time for Ben's recommendation.
Sounds about right. Which is good because I have to shift anyway. I too was going to recommend Obsession, so I'll move on to my backup list and ironically recommend a movie that's exclusive to a streaming service that's almost the exact opposite of Tubi. And admittedly, I only watched it because a book club I'm in selected the novel, and the movie didn't look all that bad. It's Remarkably Bright Creatures. It does follow the tentpoles of the novel mostly accurately, but it does subdue some points for time. The story about a young man searching for his rich father based on vague clues that lead him to a coastal town in Washington, where he befriends an elderly woman who works the night shift in an aquarium as a janitor, and strangely enough, the super intelligent octopus, who is the star attraction of this aquarium. And while the octopus doesn't speak directly to any of the characters, his intelligence is conveyed through narration. That was all one sentence. Wow. That's run-on. I would fail. I would fail 8th grade English. I would bet even money that the original author, Shelby Van Pelt, had Kelsey Grammer's Frasier voice in her head when she wrote Marcellus the Octopus's lines. But for the movie, we're ironically casting Dr. Octopus himself, Alfred Molina, which sure, he might be the next best choice for this character. Lewis Pullman is the young scrub who I kind of hated in the book, but the performance certainly makes him a lot more likable, if not 30-something. And Sally Field as the elderly Tova, who is a bit less crotchety than her novel counterpart, but like Pullman, these characters probably need a bit more softening for the film version. But perhaps best of all is Dylan and my boy is here, Chief Miles O'Brien himself, Cole Meany, who is one of those actors who just embodies whoever he plays. Having read the book, I can't really put myself in the shoes of someone who hasn't, who would be coming into this fresh. But for those of you who have, come on, I know you're curious and might as well check it out. So just prepare yourself for a remarkably abrupt ending.
The octopus talks?
Through narration. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And
it drowns Sally Field?
Aliens. That's why they're so smart.
Possible. We don't know. According to ancient astronaut theorists.
I don't think that's
okay, all right. Well, unfortunately, my recommendation this week cannot be found on Tubi.
Oh, no.
Psych, of course it can. It's 1980s Alligator. After being flushed down the toilet, a pet baby alligator grows to enormous size in the sewers after eating dog carcasses injected with growth hormones. Seemingly just another Jaws ripoff in a long line of Jaws ripoffs, this one feels like the reason you sifted through all of them. It actually employs an excellent alligator animatronic when it works. Much like its aquatic counterpart Bruce, the alligator animatronic, Ramon, presumably named after artist Ramon Santiago, whose posters adorn the film, malfunctioned throughout production, forcing the filmmakers to either get creative and shoot around it, or get lazy and use miniatures. They did both. The cast is anchored by Ryan Luis Rodriguez approved Robert Forster, and features an unforgettable performance by Bart Braverman, who we of course all loved as the precocious young Pepe in Ray Harryhausen's classic 20 Million Miles to Earth. That was him, Schlenzo. That was Bart Braverman. That was Bart Braverman.
Man.
It was a bit gorier and unflinching than I expected from an 80s movie, especially its cavalier attitude towards child eating, although, again, not unlike Jaws. And frankly, if those kids don't want to be eaten, they should stay out of the sewers. If you want to check it out, well, that pool shouldn't have been near the sewer. If you want to check it out, Alligator is currently streaming on the aforementioned Tubi, of course. But you could also be like our friend D-Rock Schlender and pick up the 4K to relive the magic over and over.
I'm looking at it right now on my shelf.
The 4K looks excellent,
yes, it
actually.
Does.
I'm really getting converted on physical media.
Their 80s work is outstanding.
You can really see Forster's hairline receding
You
back
can actually
throughout each scene.
You can clearly see the hair plugs in even darker scenes.
When he gets his ass grabbed, you can see exactly how it's getting grabbed. It's really...
The hair plugs alone are worth the conversion.
They tease him about it, too.
One ass grab alone. But
Octopi are better than alligators, though.
If only there was a movie on Tubi where they fought. I'm sure there is.
Oh, several.
Find it for us.
Several franchises. Sharktopus versus Mega Croc. It exists. I know it exists.
That's it.
I'm telling you, it's out there already.
That's a good movie.
You see, you could have recommended it, but you went with Obsession, stealing Ben's only recommendation.
I know, dude. I'm sorry. I can do another one real quick.
After I emailed you in depth about it, yeah.
You guys already got two because you're two people. But have you seen
the fucking email?
We don't want you to be prepared, all right? We like to shock you, all right? It's a twist. It's a knife to the gut where you're not expecting it. Have you guys done Alligator or discussed Alligator on Tubi Tuesday?
Oh, we haven't actually. No.
I've seen it, but no, we haven't done it.
A little too highbrow for Tubi.
I mean, it kind of is.
What?
Well, I mean, to be fair, we have done the occasional
To be fair.
Tubi has great stuff on it. It has like Academy Award-winning films on it.
Exactly. I mean, we have done the occasional highbrow film, but a film like Alligator is definitely not too good for our show. I mean, although we always... Exactly. We just did Cop Game by Bruno Mattei. So there are no depths that we go on this show.
Awesome. I think it's not too good for our show should go on the back of the 4K in the next release. It thinks it's too good for our show, but it's wrong.
But it's not.
And with that, we are all out of show. We want to thank our guest, the Tubi Tuesday podcast, aka the Tubi Oobies, for joining us. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us again, and we look forward to coming back again on the show, and hopefully have you guys on the Tubi Tuesdays podcast very soon.
Yeah, we're gonna come watch Sharktopus versus Mega Croc.
Yeah, dude, let's go.
And maybe even Slash Squatch. I didn't even bring that up.
Oh, it's a different one.
I mean,
Slash Squatch versus Mega Croc.
There are verb squatches all.
And driving Miss Daisy, and I see what you guys are doing now.
And we're looking forward.
The monster in that one is racism, Ben.
That's always the monster. And we hope everyone will join us again as well as the reels of justice keep turning.
Count it.
Masterpiece.
Please follow us on Twitter at Reels of Justice, Instagram Reels of Justice, and Facebook.com/Reels of Justice.